Welcome to Flamingo Fight Talk. I am your host, Derek Schramm, and today I am the only one with you, but we are going to be talking about some boxing that happened last week. Rico Verhoeven, the Glory heavyweight kickboxing champ, undefeated for like almost, I think, over a decade, took on, at the pyramids of Giza, Alexander Usyk. And what a fight! And right off the bat, let's talk about boxing first. I got a few things to mention about this because so far on our channel we've mostly done UFC. Actually, I think we've pretty much exclusively done UFC fights. But this is a combat sports show, and UFC was off last week, and a lot of events: PFL, One Championship, and obviously the boxing fight. This coming week, we have another boxing fight of Han vs. Holm 2. Amanda Serrano's on that card. We also have RAF and the return of the UFC in Macau. So we do have some fights to talk about, but for now, we're talking about boxing. And I just want to because I'm going to slam boxing here in a minute. But I do want to give boxing its credit, and so many people, they bash on it, oh, there's too many rounds, it's too long, yada, 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 and there's a lot of fair criticisms with boxing, but the tension of a championship boxing fight, because of its length, because of how long it takes, and its slower pace than things like kickboxing and MMA, and even grappling to an extent, even though grappling slow, it doesn't last as long. And the limited amount of weapons, the tension over a fight, and when it's good, I don't think anything beats premier boxing. Not PBC, premier boxing, highest level boxing. I don't think anything comes close to it. The tension of, clearly I'm a boxing casual, but I'm going to name a few. Tyson Fury versus Otto Wallin, the cut on his eye. Just the, Tyson should walk through this guy, but damn, he didn't take it seriously. Now he's cut. Now he has to survive. This undefeated fighter has to survive to get the big fight. And that was riveting, exciting. And then there's obviously the Deontay Wilder Fury fight. I mentioned Fury one more time after this, where he gets knocked down in the 12th round, rises like The Undertaker, and goes and puts on a beating. And then there's also, the Tyson Fury Francis Ngannou fight, where Francis comes and shows up and knocks down Fury. He's got robbed. Fury clearly did not take Ngannou seriously. Almost kind of a trend there. And now we have Usyk versus Rico. Usyk, and I know a lot of guys are like, oh, he's no Lennox Lewis. He's no Muhammad Ali. He's no Mike Tyson. It's bruh, he's the best boxer of this generation. If you want to put him all time, that's on the boxing people. I'm a casual for boxing. I'm not going to make anything, but I'm talking about it anyways because damn, I enjoyed that fight. And he's the best boxer at heavyweight of this generation. And Rico Verhoeven is the best kickboxer of this generation. Probably over the last decade, they've been the, best fighters in their respective sports. And that's an amazing thing that we got to see these guys matched up with each other, even though I know basically, Usyk's getting hammered for ducking Caballel for this fight, but doesn't really matter. Let's talk about the fight, now getting into it. I just wanted to kind of give boxing their flowers of I was on the edge of my seat the entire time I watched it. Now, full disclosure, I didn't watch it live. So I heard about the controversy and all the stuff first, and then I went in to watch it. I was going to watch it either way, but I had things I was doing. And so I walked in knowing the result and hearing, oh, Rico got robbed, blah, blah, blah. It's okay, let me go in. So I did have a little bit of bias going into the fight, and I did score it. I had it in total, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I had it 7 rounds to 4 for Rico Verhoeven. Everyone else talking, I'm going to say the rounds. I had all the rounds except for round 4, round 5, round 10, and obviously the round 11 for Usyk, and everything else was for Verhoeven. So, and obviously that round 11 would have been a 10-8. And let me just let me get to this before I get into the controversies. Oh, I guess I kind of have talked about the controversy a little bit. In that case, let me talk about the fight. Verhoeven came out by far the bigger guy. I think the more athletic guy, too. And he came in with the Jim Carrey, Me, Myself, Irene style. This herky-jerky, duck-down style, which just it made it weird. Usyk couldn't get his rhythm going, and I think that is the major part. And then Rico's pure athleticism and skill. Like, keep in mind, the boxers are going to slam the kickboxers. MMA guys are going to falsely claim the kickboxer is one of theirs, but kickboxing is it's an independent discipline. I mean, they are great at what they do. Like, it's kind of absurd. A kickboxer's sense of range might be second to none. That's why they're so good at MMA. They understand range at a fundamental level better than MMA fighters do. This is why certain grapplers are really good at it, because the understanding of range, and boxers' understanding of range. This is their key ability that the multidiscipline training of MMA, it kind of fails on, and this is when you get guys that when they know their range in MMA, you see it. It's plain as day. You're like, oh, that's a tough fighter to deal with because of how they control range. Usyk, being the bigger guy, you think he's going to fight like a big guy, and of course he does not. He fights in an awkward style, pressing forward the entire time, crowding Usyk, not giving him a lot of openings, giving him a lot of weird reads, a lot of hand rolling, head side to side, bladed, and he put a pace on Usyk. Is what happened. And yeah, I think the first 3 rounds he absolutely won. The tension of that fight, like I was kind of mentioning earlier, is obviously you have a fighter ducked down, and that leaves you open for the uppercut. And Usyk tried it a few times, never got it. We're going to just kind of skip to the end of the fight. Obviously, Usyk gets some good rounds in the middle, and I think Rico comes back. Usyk at the end starts obviously Rico gets tired. I think the main problem that happened is he stopped blading himself with the fatigue of, he made it to the 11th round of a boxing fight. That's a long time to fight. And so he kind of, instead of having all the herky-jerkiness, he kind of just started ducking, hunching forward, walking forward. And then, he got caught off the uppercut bad by Usyk, dropped him, hurt him bad. You have the delayed 10-8 count because the mouthpiece comes out, and then the corner does the Three Stooges routine, dropping the mouthpiece. I absolutely believe that's intentional. But the ref gives him the 8 seconds, counts him back in, puts the mouthpiece back in. They get fighting, and Usyk swarms him in the corner. There's only seconds left, so Rico, he just decides to block. He gets caught a few times, and these kind of buckle a little bit. But he's hurt. We'll say he's hurt. The bell rings. Round's over. Ref goes in, stops the fight, TKO. And it's bull. It is bull. Terrible stoppage. First and foremost, round was over. The round was over. The round was over. He was on his feet, too. It wasn't like he fell down to the ground. That alone, terrible stoppage. The problem is, what they did was, they just did not respect the kickboxer. They're like, well, it's only his second boxing fight. He's hurt. We gotta stop this fight. And it's like, giving no respect to the fact that this guy is an undefeated, decade-long reigning kickboxing champion. Like, do you think this guy's never been hurt before? And it's like, this is the problem of boxers. It's like, and like, let's be very real. If it made it to the 12th round, Usyk probably was going to stop Rico. Rico was hurt. He was tired. Usyk was not tired. And he finally found his rhythm and was landing. He was going to take him out, in my opinion. But we need to see it happen. We need to see it. If we just went through life and say, oh, well, this guy's going to win, there's no point in seeing it, we can just call it now, then we wouldn't be having combat sports. I wouldn't have a podcast. No one would be betting on this stuff. We're like, oh, we know what happens. We're not going to watch. We're not going to even let it happen because we know it's going to happen. And it's like, if that's the case, Royce Gracie would still be the champion of the UFC. No one beats jiu-jitsu. It's like, see how ridiculous that is? It's like, no, of course you gotta watch it fight. Yes, he was hurt. He deserved the chance. Usyk deserved the chance to get a good stoppage on him, to settle that score, and not have this cloud that just hangs over boxing, this stink that just clings to boxing. Whenever they do a big fight, that there's some type of corruption, some type of bull. And, everyone, like, some of the guys, like, they were talking, like, oh, it was a good stoppage because Rico was hurt. The ref saved him. First of all, ain't none of you, like, Usyk stands killing the ref for the 30-second delay when he's hurt about the mouthpiece. That's ridiculous. Grab the mouthpiece, slam it back in. You don't need to be going to the corner to wash it off. That's not in the rules anymore. They don't need to do that. Also, again, the Three Stooges routine, and I don't blame Rico's corner. I absolutely think they did that on purpose. Oh no, I dropped the mouthpiece. We gotta gain some extra seconds. Every second counts. And they do that, then it restarts. So yeah, it's like 30 seconds after he gets dropped before the count starts. So he's had so much time to recover. Recovers, and then it's like, I don't know if the ref's thinking, oh, I kind of screwed up there. Well, I'm gonna call it early now. And it's like, that's I think, the more polite reading with some of the stuff I've been seeing. People saying corruption, people saying this, and let's talk about that. Going into the ninth round, the commentary team mentioned the open scoring. They had it 76-76, a draw, and that's absurd. It is at that point. And it's like, I can see it. So basically, you'd have to give round 3 and round 6 to Usyk as on top of rounds 4 and 5. And Usyk did not win rounds 3 through 6. It did not happen. Those were good rounds. Those are the most competitive rounds of the fight. He didn't win those 4 rounds straight. Sorry. I'm not saying my card's the only card, but that's an absurd scoring. And so you get to that point, and it's like, okay, the judges, they're not respecting what Rico's doing. And yeah, it's like Rico was doing the better work, though. It's like, oh yeah, Usyk looked cleaner. It's the same shit from McGregor versus Floyd, where like, Conor won the first couple rounds against Floyd people. Like, yeah, he got beat up and was always going to lose that fight, but Floyd danced the first 2 rounds. He did not throw a punch. You can't win a fight without striking. You can't. I mean, MMA, you can grapple and control, yada yada, but no, this is boxing. 2 weapons. If you don't use the weapons, you're not winning. Conor won rounds, and the judges still gave it to them. Same shit here. And worse, because Rico actually did better than Conor did. That's because he's a kickboxer, not an MMA fighter. I think MMA fighters have too much of a gap, really, to get in unless they got the Francis Ngannou great power equalizer. Or they're just getting in there and fighting a washed boxer, but no one's going to pay for that. And, unless it's Jake Paul. But yeah, I mean, wow. It's not a robbery, it's not corruption, but I try not to curse on this show. What a shit show. And it's like, you robbed the glory for both fighters. You stole that glory from them. And like it's about the money, it's prize fighting, it's a sport, it's the glory of combat, it's the glory of competition, it's the winning. And you rob that from Usyk, and you rob that from Rico. Rico, let's say it was tied, like some of these judges were saying, going into the 12th round. He deserves that. He deserves that. And if he is going to get stopped in the 12th round, he deserved that too. But to get robbed of the opportunity to continue that fight when it was stopped after the bell, it's against the rules. You can't do it. Like, if you were going to stop it, it should have been, during the 10 count, during the 8 count. Should have been there. You shouldn't have restarted the fight. That would have been the time to do it. And it sucks for Usyk, too. This guy's old. He only has a couple fights left. He's already getting killed for not fighting Caballel. Meanwhile, he's defeated Fury twice, Dubois twice, Joshua twice. He's the best heavyweight of this generation. And he's like, well, he's ducking Caballel. It's like, oh, okay. He wanted to have some fun. You know what I mean? And Francis Ngannou he didn't get that fight. I would like that fight if he just wanted a stupid fun fight. But yeah, they did the Verhoeven fight. And you know what? That's fun. That was fun. MVP was trying to get Verhoeven. UFC was trying to get Verhoeven. So before people get too shitty on it, it's like, yeah, he's a hot commodity. People want to see this guy fight in other sports, not just kickboxing. And he did the boxing fight. And he gave the heavyweight champ all he has. And yeah, and the problem is, so many people calling for a rematch. You can't do it twice. You can't. Usyk figured him out. You only get one shot at the freak show. Because that is only going to work once. It's only going to work once. Usyk is going to come in, if they do a rematch, he's going to come in so prepared and serious. And Rico, like, he's going to beat the crap. If there's a rematch, Usyk gets it done within 8. Easy. And that's just, it's where it kind of just ruins it. And, you know, it had a great venue. It's in front of the pyramids. It looked great. I mean, historically, archaeologically speaking, anthropologically speaking, kind of terrible. Like, come on, like, that's a World Heritage Site. We're going to make it on a fight, but whatever. It looked great. It looked so good. I can't hate on it too bad. But yeah, it's like, you know, I have my notes here. It said, robbery, fire the ref, fire the judges, rematches needed. Yeah, I was a little passionate when I watched it. Looking back almost a week later now, that ref, that bad stoppage, bad with the mouthpiece fiasco. And yeah, that was bad reffing. Maybe it's because it's in Egypt. I don't know how good the boxing scene's over in Egypt, but yeah, that was bad reffing. And the judges, yeah, they were doing the regular boxing screw job of basically going against, and it's not just against kickboxers and MMA, it's also against other boxers. Boxing judges' preconceived notions of their champions is absurd. It is the worst. They cannot just view the fight for what's happening in the fight. They take the whole history of their champion watching this fight. And that is not how you judge the event, not the career. You judge the career once it's over. And it's, you know, they take this. Because, like, reverse the situation. Let's say it was Rico Verhoeven that had dropped Usyk, had him in the corner, and was landing on him. There is no way in hell, zero, zip, nada, none, that they stop that fight and they give Rico that TKO. They'll let Usyk get dropped twice before they stop that fight. Absolutely. And again, I said a rematch is needed, and at this point it's like, yeah, you can, but the lightning's been let out of the bottle. So at this point, do Usyk versus Caballero, and let's get Rico versus Francis. Just saying, that's a very exciting fight now. In boxing or kickboxing, I don't want to see MMA. Francis is too smart. He's going to take him down. Though, from what I hear back in the day, Rico Verhoeven used to give Daniel Cormier and Cain Velasquez absolute hell when they trained together. Just, you know, DC would, you know, try to be taking him down, and he's like, yeah, Verhoeven, he just would fight like hell to prevent that from happening. What a great event at the end of the day. Again, the drama of a boxing fight is so good, and it just sucks because boxing has to just rob that satisfaction from you at the end with a bullshit stoppage and a bullshit judging. They're going to do a screw job. They were going to do it. Thank you for watching. And more boxing coverage. Han vs. Home 2. This is my first time doing boxing. Don't kill me. I'd love to talk more about it. Please like, share, subscribe. Thank you.